You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know how I feel. You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know how I feel. You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know how I feel. You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
let's get going here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. Okay. Lisa, sorry you have to go. It stinks, but thank you for popping in. Hey, Katie. So let's switch over here and see what we're dealing with. Okay, cool. So Katie's here, Luisa's here, Claire. Hey, Claire, by the way, the house over here thinks you are on the come up. Like that your hooping has gotten really good. That video you posted from the jam with all the shoulder hooping was so good. And I hope you feel good about it. And I'll tell you one thing that I really like about it is that it's very difficult to slow angle hoop on the shoulders. Very. And you make it look easy. And anytime someone says you make something look easy, there's, you should take comfort in the fact, everybody should take comfort in the fact that they're saying, you make it look so good. Like nobody, every great mover, player, performer, they all make it look easy. But we all know how hard it is to do that. So anyway, we had fun at the jam. We're going to do... So Viv is visiting us from Berlin, and we're going to probably do jams as long as she's around, which might be another week, or she might extend her trip, but it won't be super long. And then we will discuss whether or not we want to keep the jams going or move them. One thing that I am thinking about doing is moving the jam to Sunday morning and doing a more meditative, probably shorter, but more meditative type of hoop thing, movement thing, a little bit, like not exactly like, hip hop and breakbeat, but sort of chill, and do it for like a month maybe, or a couple of weeks and just see, but I don't know. But that's just what I'm thinking about. Everybody's summer is going to be busy, so I'm sure you got a lot of cool things to do, around the same time that we would be doing jams. So, oops, I forgot my notebook. Okay, I'll just do, oh wait, there it is. I just want to make sure I don't forget anything. And, okay, oh, Ariana, sweet. Sweet, cool, holding it down out there. Sunday is Jackie's birthday. Let me write that down right now. Sunday, Jackie birthday. Okay, so the other thing that I just wanted to say, since people time in at different places, I always want to welcome my replay crew, because I know you're watching on replay. Y'all are a part. I get your messages, thank you. I get your donations, thank you. So, shucks, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, the Zoom wall. I think what I'm going to do, because you have to pay for Zoom now, I think I want to make it more of a special occasion. And so maybe I'll work out with one of my friends who already is paying for Zoom for meetings that they do or something, to see if I can host a room through them. We'll bring the Zoom wall back. Maybe we'll do it once a month, something like that. Okay. Well, I think we are pretty much ready to go here. I'm going to be bouncing between my iTunes and my SoundCloud, hopefully. Oh yeah, well, Claire, you're welcome. You're welcome. Honestly, I just want to say that, Claire, I thought your oh no. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, I don't know if we're getting. Am I locking up on you guys? Are we doing all right? I have not looked at the Jitsi rooms. I'll check that out. Hopefully we're not locking up. My computer seems to think that maybe we are, but I hope we're not. Anyway, okay, so yeah. I want to go ahead and get going with this. I can see already that things are not going to work exactly right, but let's see if we can figure that out. Okay, there we go. Actually, they are. Okay, so let me make sure I can bring up my warm-up music for you guys. Yeah, okay, cool. We've got it here. I think we do. Okay, yeah, I think I know what was happening, y'all. We'll have to work on that later. Okay, so let me just, sorry guys, my system. Okay, there we go, at last. Okay, so I thought what I would do is sort of tell, oh sweet, Shannon's here, is tell the story, tell a little bit about Ashua, the teacher. Everybody's initiated by now, or you know what I mean, like you understand what's going on here, that I'm not writing a religion, but that we're going into story time to sort of unlock creative places. Tonight what we're going to be doing is teaching a tech class, but with an emphasis on Ashua the teacher. Ashua the teacher is the teacher of Jula the Quiet. She's the prima madre, and she is teacher spirit, right? Like she is, imagine your your favorite teacher, the best teacher, the first teacher you ever had where you realized teaching was a craft. That's Ashua, okay? And so she has an impact, a big, big impact on Jula the Quiet, and then Giancarlo the Channel, okay? But we're not going to get into too much plot because we're really just talking about push folds tonight. And let me show you what push folds are before I forget, so that, oh no, okay, thank God. I love that I'm doing on camera what every hooper has done, where you plug the lamp through the hoop and have to, thank God for hoops that come apart. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about push folds. This is what we're talking about tonight. It is when you use an arm to push, and it's a very contacty, kind of gooey movement. Boom, 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 boom. But what makes a push fold is that I'm not in samurai turning it with my wrist, right? I'm pushing it with point positions and things like that. All right, so let's start off with sway, and then we'll, sorry baby, I threw you off there. We'll start off with sway, and yeah, there we go. Oh, interesting. Well, not there, okay. And let me, okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh, what is that? All right. Audible breath in. Ashua the teacher. Ashua was born into a family that mined jewels. They worked in mines that went deep into the ground to harvest jewels. And they worked for a rather empty master. They worked for a very broken man. But Ashua's father would take Ashua into the mines And she loved to go in there. She loved the cool feeling. She watched the light disappear as she got deeper and deeper. And sometimes she would close her eyes and she would run her hand along the mined walls as she would walk, feeling the cool of the rock, the earth. Her father was always there, and the mine felt very safe. One day, Ashua's father asked Ashua to guide the children of his friend with her into the mine. There were 2 little girls and 1 little boy, and Ashua was the eldest. She was probably about 9 years old. Audible breath in. Ashua knew all the cool little places that little kids would like to see, and she gleefully took them there. There were smiles, there was laughter, and they went deeper and deeper and deeper into the mines. And Ashua was even able to take them to a special secret place that only she knew about, because only she was so small as a little girl that she could get there. Audible breath in. Open. Everyone was so excited. And then Ashua felt or heard something she had never felt before in her life. There, with the other kids laughing, she felt the wind sucked out of her ears. She felt her ears pop. And then she started to hear yelling from way back deep in the mine. And then she heard water raging towards them. Ashua panicked, and when she went to what she called the tree house, which was just a buried place in the mine that only she seemed to know about, and she brought the 3 children there. They climbed up into this little room deep in the mine. And darkness came, and the water came. The mine had collapsed. Water had poured in. The children were screaming. Ashua, at 9 years old, had met her first ordeal. Audible breath in. Ashua knew that they couldn't stay there, and so the 9-year-old would hold her breath, and she would jump into the water that was filling the mine now, and she would swim with her hand on the wall, her eyes closed, using her memory of the touch of that wall to guide her to another air pocket. And when she thought she was there, she would come up into the air pocket, open her eyes, see if it were there, and then she would trace herself back to the 3 children. And this little 9-year-old did this over and over and over again until she knew the touch of every wall that led to every air hole. And she went back to the children that were trapped, the 3 of them, the 2 girls, the little boy, and she said, "I can get us out of here. But we'll have to hop like frogs across a lake, from pad to pad." She told them to relax and breathe in as deeply as they could, and trust her and hold on to her ankle rope, the four of them move from air pocket to air pocket to air pocket. Audible breath in. Eventually, they got to an air pocket, and the villagers had been able to dig out that portion, and the children were saved. Audible breath in. When Ashua explained the story to the villagers of how she had managed the rescue, they all exclaimed, "Ashua, you are a teacher." And Ashua said, "I was a student first." Audible breath in. Open, open, open. Okay. All right, a little bit longer sway than usual, guys, but I wanted to hear the story, and I tell that story. Let me switch over here. I tell that story really not so much when I say that Ashua is going to teach us tonight. It's really that, you can go ahead and grab your hoops, by the way. It's really that spirit. And so, if lost, one of the points of that story is that she taught herself first. And she used all of her senses to teach herself. But then she had to go back and teach the three people that she was going to save how to do what she had just done, right? And so it's like one of the things that, shucks. One of the things that can really help you when you're learning technique is to think of yourself as both teacher and student. I mean, in one way, you're a teacher in that you are providing the sort of space all right. Okay, so we're going to talk about contact folds tonight. Oh, right. Sorry, I had a song in mind for this one. Maybe it won't work. Yeah, I think it will. Okay, so we're going to try an exercise, y'all. And I did this in my practice, and it's a little outside the box, but I think it's pretty great. So we'll see how it goes. But here's what I want you to do, okay? So we're going to recreate a scene from the Ashua story that I just told you guys about. And what we're going to recreate is the swimming that she would do, okay, in this, this flooded mine. That's why it looks here. This swimming that she would do, and then how she would get to an air pocket, and she would come up through the air, that pocket, right? And then she would come back down, and then swim into another one, right? So what I want you to imagine, and what we're going to work on is, hopefully we're going to have fun, but this is a very Ashua exercise. This is a hand coordination exercise. I'm telling my body when I'm down here that I'm in a swimming motion. There's no right or wrong, of course. But you can imagine, I'm closing my eyes, I'm swimming through this flooded mine, touching the wall as I go. And then when I'm ready, I'll come up through, and then this is really where you can work on keeping the hoop nice and level as you come down. the type of push folds that we're going to be doing tonight, there's a closeness and even an intimacy that you feel with the hoop. And because we're going to be doing push folds, I encourage you to let the hoop start to touch as you move it around. Like this is the smear. Or as I'm swimming out here, I can just bring the hoop and good. So let's start with the most basic of push folds. And hopefully the music is not too loud. You can hear me okay. Give me a little bit more talking because tonight's a tech class. But actually, Tara's doing probably the second most basic one. But I'll show you this one first, and then we're going to jump right into the one that she's doing. Maybe watching her, maybe I should have started with that one. But this is one where I'm inside the hoop. My legs are inside of it here. And what I'm going to do, a push fold is when, or at least in the HoopPath, a push fold is when you use your body to push and create the fold, right? It's not like your grip or something that is moving the hoop. It's your body that is moving it around. Now, we all have different bodies. We all have different hoop sizes. So this fold that I'm doing right now is a push fold. I'm pushing the hoop into, we're not going to get too caught up in push versus pull, but I'm pushing the hoop into my chest and raising my elbows up, which is causing it to come down and over. Now, what I do there, I can go back to my Ashua swimming, right? Like, I can go back and tuck, the hoop under my chin or something and swing up under it. I use my chin a lot. It looks a little weird when you do it, but as long as you don't hunch too much, it's not so bad. But this is me using my chin right here. Oops, my keyboard's a little bit. Now, push folds can be taken onto an angle, of course, the same one. And we've done this before. We're going to get into lots of new stuff, but we've done this one before where I am tucking I can use my neck, my chin, my chest, whatever, and I'm going to push it in as my elbows come out. And that creates the fold, but I'm more bent over, so it's a little bit more of a manageable, right? And then there's, for those of you that like the sort of flashy moves, I can use this move, like we're doing it super slow and gooey. I could do this same thing very quickly, and we've done this before, and catch in 2-point, right? Just gotta be careful, I hope I don't kill all my cameras right now. But I can turn the hoop out. Gotta watch the hoop, but I can fold the hoop out, boom, and catch it there in 2-point, or double samurai, whatever, it doesn't matter, okay? So that would look like this. I'm gonna watch the hoop and not you guys. All right, I'll show you from this side. Okay. Now, these are contact folds. They're push folds. But from here, I can start to do some cool things too. I can bring one of my hands to my chest. I'm in the same one we were doing. I can bring one of my hands to my chest just to anchor it. And then I can do the same thing because I've got one hand anchored. I can do the same thing with that on, okay? So I'm here, I'm in the same position we were starting with before. The only difference is I'm bringing my hand on top of the hoop to my chest, neck, wherever, just an anchor. And then I'm gonna raise that hand up. Boom. And you might have a ratio that just doesn't work that well on. I can switch those hands, right, if I want to. then, not to give too much away, but once I start to move these hands separately, then I can do all kinds of cool stuff, right? Like, instead of just raising it here, I could fold the hand all the way out here, bring it back there. Well, wait a minute, I put the wrong. Right? I can create tension. Right? So I'm here. These are push folds. This is with one hand. Sorry, this is with one hand. Boom. Some of you might remember the old namaste thing I used to use on the road. This is namaste hands, and then you turn them towards you and then duck them under the hoop, and you get a nice clean fold that way too. Then I can come back to that sort of dolphin-y thing, right? So I'm here, I can come up, well, prayer hands, and then dip beneath the hoop, and I'm here. Wait, is that what I'm doing? No, I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. We're going to come to that one. I'm here, I dip my hands here on this side, and then push up. Yeah, sorry. And then I can come back to start that whole thing over. Some of you might, since you've been taking this class forever and this is Monday night, you can see how so smoothly point technique and these folding techniques kind of work together. I can move quickly into 2-point technique here and back into that push fold there. Nobody's commenting, so I'm hoping that means we're still live and everybody is just so enthralled or disgusted that we'll talk a little bit more. Let's talk some more. We're going to just kind of have a nice flowy class to give everybody a chance to try this. Fire questions away if you have them. So hug folds, squeeze folds, same thing. Okay, cool. Hug folds, squeeze folds, these are the same thing as push folds. And so this is one that we've done before, but this one all you have to do is literally just hold the hoop to create the fold. Boom, right? Good. Now this move, however you create it, at least the way I flow, is really fun and really important. Okay, so what I like you to do, of course you can get off the bus and stop anywhere you want to stop. But what I encourage you to do is to really get this feel. Wow, that's funky looking. Is to really get this feel of creating pressure, because we're going to use this pressure for the next move that we're doing. Tonight might be very much a replay class. I'm not sure I'll have a recording, but I looked at the YouTube and it looks pretty good. The live recording looks like it's gotten a lot better, so I might just have to do that. Now watch. If I pull this force to me and then just do a little maneuvering, I can get right into that fold that we were just doing. If I'm like pushing this stuff across and I push it across, and see how I just hop in there? Boom. Now I'm into that move, right? So I'm sending it here, right? And as I press it, I'm gonna use these arms to get inside of it, right? This thing, okay? This is, all right, sorry, I keep looking at this screen and not you guys. This thing right here, that is the hinge, right? So I'm here, watch. I'm here, I'm zipping it across. My right hand's gonna bring it towards my left. My left is gonna come up and get inside of it. Boom, right? So I'll show you guys what this looks like more in flow. I'm doing like both versions here. I'll do one with the left hand just in case. Use that. I'm always, right now we're working on coming towards the body. You're always, hugging it, right? Like, so the motion is going to bring it towards you. Okay, now this is one where we're going to, hopefully I'm not going to lose you guys too much. Tonight's class is very, very techy. Everybody take a sip of water. Now, we've done this move before, but I'm kind of hoping with some of this different talk that, we can hear it, or that, we can get some progress on this. So the move, let me show you what the move looks like first. Okay, and it's a drill. Okay, and now I'm going to show you how we get there. We're here, I'm holding the hoop on whatever shoulder, corresponding hand is out. It's going to hug. As it hugs, the hand is going to snake up. It's going to come up this way and then block the hoop with a fold that looks like that. Okay? So don't look at forget this hand, but a fold that looks like this. So I'm here, and I'm gonna, let me make sure I get close enough so you guys can see this. I'm gonna swoop the hoop, but then stop it, right? No, I'm not gonna, you don't have to hold it right now. That's a little bit harder move, but that's what I'm doing. And I'll show you what this looks like. So I'm taking my right hand, I hug to the body, my right hand goes up and stops the hoop, and I'm stopping it. And this might be something to point out too, okay? So hold the hoop in your left hand. It doesn't matter if you do this right or left hand, you're gonna learn both right now. Take your elbow, make contact with the hoop all the way into the crook of your elbow there. Okay? Yeah, so left hand, just bring it into the right elbow, okay? Now the right hand is gonna come up and then just hold the hoop there, okay? Let's see how we got this. All right, so we're here. All right, so we're here. We're holding the hoop in the left hand. I'm gonna bring my right elbow here, right? Okay. Yeah, and then the elbow is going to bend and come up like I'm tutting or something, and hold the hoop. Yep, just like that. Okay. So what's going to happen in this case is that instead of like holding it flat, the hand is going to more paddle the hoop. It's actually easier to do than what we're doing right now. So we're here and we're going to squeeze, yep, just like that, okay? Boom, boom. Now here's where you're going to get thrown off. When you do these in sequence, you're no longer doing the sort of push fold in the same way. You're doing what would be called a swing fold. Like you're bringing the hoop across. You're really just using quickness and gravity, but this is what it looks like. And when it gets here, I'm bringing it across the body by dipping my hand down, let's see how to make it, dipping it towards. So I'm here. This is where I sometimes lose the room, but it's really fun when you do finally get it. And the best advice I can give you is, and it doesn't matter, so I'm doing this in actually 3-point right now, where the hoop is actually it is grinding into my core a little bit. Tara's doing the same thing over there. Yep, so Tara's got it exactly right if you want to see what her version looks like. Now this is a drill, and you might say, oh sweet, Shannon thinks this is one of her favorite drills. Why do we use this? Because in HoopPath teaching, in the way that I hoop and the way I teach hooping, the twist is everything. How quickly you can twist generates so much of the necessary force for the way that I hoop. Now, since this is an Ashua class, I would just say that if Ashua were teaching this, You know, like I've always, as I've imagined her, channeled her, seen her, whatever, she believed in drilling. She did a lot of repetitive stuff. And I think the reason is because the more you repeat, the more liberating it actually becomes. It's sort of not exactly what you would think, but the more I do it, the more, like for me, without even really thinking about it, my offhand has just started to move a little bit more. Sweet. Now, I will say that this is very black belty. I know Jackie can do this, and you should all try it. It's not that hard, but you can hand walk from the inside as you do this. So that looks like this, where see, this is actually, try this first. This is hand walking from the inside of the hoop. And my hoop is kind of bouncing all over, but when we do this move, it won't matter. This is hand walking. I'm using kind of my wrists, my forearms, my whatever, okay? So then what I'm doing is, as I'm doing this, I'm gonna go ahead, if it was LED, you could see it, but do you see how I'm pushing my hands up as it comes through that now? I mean, I hope this is at least, you know, one of the higher belts to do. If you get this on the first time, I'm gonna feel embarrassed. But this is walking the hands. I hope you can see what I'm walking my hands up. And then what I like to do is then, and maybe let's take about a 30-second pause here so you can play with the music, but you can really start to feel lots of pressures, right? Like lots of like pull, how can I say this? Like pressure on the hoop that can be created between these two. You get your steps, don't worry, we'll vouch. I'll send that an email. Good. So then, just in case anyone's lost, here's the movement that I was teaching before. And then this is the hand walking movement. You are, Jennifer. You're a black belt. Absolutely. You're the one that determines the... You're a black belt when you think you are. And then this is, just so we see what's happening here, this is not push folding, but this is that 2-point walking. You see what I'm doing there? I can, run that up off a leg. Yeah. The hoop is moving. If it was LED, you guys would see that, it's moving. Okay. All right, so the next one we're going to do is a little bit tricky. Actually, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to breathe. All right, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to breathe. Just 30 seconds, and then we're going to come back with a new move. Didn't expect the music to stop right when I did that. Okay, just want to make sure there's no hesitation anymore. Like, hopefully the quality is looking good and everything is going great. So keep me posted if that is not the case. If I'm freezing up or something, I want to know. Okay, so now here's the deal. I'm going to show you what this move looks like. Almost everybody hates me when I try to teach this move. So tonight we're going to break the record, and I'm actually going to keep love in the building. I'm not going to end my relationship. You guys are not going to dump me after I try to teach this. But this is the move, okay? And this too is a drill. Okay, now this is probably like one of the most classic examples of a push fold, because you're using 2 points of contact to push the hoop into a third point of contact, I think, on your back. Okay, so there's 3 points here. Okay, so here's how this works. There's a bunch of different ways we can get into it, but I'm going to show you the one that I worked on first. So I'm holding the hoop in double point, all right, and I'm going to bring the hoop up so that it is I'm gonna bring it up so that I'm feeling pressure from my elbows. Let me turn this music down just a little bit. So that I'm feeling pressure from my elbows, and that pressure is pushing it into my night side. You can kind of feel a pressure there. Now this is if you want to do a really snappy release. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to let one arm just drop, and I'm going to let the other arm, I'm going to let its elbow come down. I'm going to let it push, okay? So I'm here, I'm going to pick my right arm to let go. My left arm is going to push, and that's going to whip the hoop down, okay? Now, the reason that it is, so the reason that it is exploding out there is because I've got a lot of pressure on the hoop right now because I'm using it against my, right side. Okay, so then if I want the quick release of this, I'm just gonna push it, right? And it's gonna fall, boom, it's gonna fall down, okay? Okay. There's a second way to do this, and it includes what happens in the middle. So here's the other way. We're going to do the same thing, but a different way. So now what I want you to do is I want you to hold the hoop in front of you and put your elbows together, right? My elbows are together here, and I'm gonna bring my arms up this way, and then I'm gonna go into namaste. So I've got the hoop kind of, or prayer hands, whatever, and so I've got the hoop kind of held there. Tara's doing a great job. She's already moving her core. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to swing the hoop over to one side. When it gets to that side, that elbow is going to go straight up into the air, just like that, and I've got it pinched there. Back of the hand will help on this one. So the way that I teach these is in point position. You don't have to do point position, but that's just the way that I teach them, okay? So if I bring my elbow back down, elbows together, right? So this, you want to get this thing. So then elbows together, then the elbow comes high again, and do you see the position I have here? Hopefully video quality is good enough here. Now, why is this a push fold? Because my elbow's about to drop, my hand's about to come up and push the hoop across to the other side, right? And then that torus motion is a fold, right? So boom, 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 boom. All right, I'm gonna show you guys a little bird's eye cam, and hopefully we can, hopefully you can see this as well. This is what's happening. See, the hoop is more or less staying, horizontal. Boom. Do you see how my hand, watch my hand, it's going to turn out. Boom. Uh-oh. You can get so much power off these things. This is a total lamp killer, by the way. That's if I want to continue it. I'll show you guys that in real time here. So then this would be, if I want to continue it, bring it down, boom. Should I talk about that? Maybe. If anybody wants me to talk about that one, the continuation, I will. But this is ultimately what it looks like. Okay. Boom. Elbow hugging the hoop. This hug motion is what we're working with tonight. I can hear you guys shouting mean things at me. Okay, sweet, Jennifer, we got that one. That way clicks for you. Okay, cool. So just so we're clear here, if you're totally lost tonight, I know it looks silly, but if you can develop what I call this grip, this sort of 2-point lock here, see how my elbows are together, my wrists are above it, that if you can find that lock, just trust me, like it will show up so much for you. And one thing you're also teaching yourself, nice, Shanna. One thing you're also teaching yourself is that third point of contact, which is really important. That third point of contact is where you unify, right? Like, not to sound cheesy, but it is. It's where you start to, the whole body, all of its efforts, what's happening with the hands, what's happening with the feet, all that comes together through that third point of contact there. Okay, so let me, okay, so here's the first way. Okay, now the first way, I'm holding the hoop on my elbows, kind of like we did when we were doing this guy, right? I'm holding the hoop on my elbows, and now I'm gonna keep my elbows high. I'm gonna bring my hands together, right? We could say namaste if we want to. And then they're gonna duck up and then back under the hoop, and I'm in point here, right? Now this is something where you can find your own sort of point, the right distance between your hands for your hoop. Now, if I want to spring out of this quickly, right, I can, oh my God, I just told you completely backwards. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I get those two confused all the time. Forgive me. We are inside the hoop. We're gonna bring the hoop up this way. Forgive me about that. And you're gonna bring your hands towards the elbows. Do you see how they're here? I close that distance. Now I've got this real pressure there. I can see like Tara's hoop is actually bending from the pressure that she's got there. So because of that pressure, now this is like if you want to get extra warrior ninja stuff, whatever. I'm gonna let go with one hand. Doesn't matter which one, but the other hand, whatever that is gonna have to drop the elbow, and that's gonna hug the hoop towards me, and your elbow is literally gonna drive the hoop into your, nice, just like Tara just did there. But here's the thing. Some of the movements I do, they require momentum. And I know it's hard to throw a lot of momentum on it when you're scared of it, but sometimes that's what's missing, okay? So if I'm here, and we're here, just to be clear, if you're doing it with me, my elbows are on the inside wall, my hands are actually on the outside wall, as the hoop is to me right now. I'm gonna let go with my right hand. That hand's just gonna get out of the way, and my left hand's gonna hug the hoop towards me, right? Now my right hand's gonna go down for a second. If you're watching this on replay, you can do the slow motion, but I'm gonna bring it down, boom. Good. Sometimes it is very, very common that you'll get it with one arm, but you won't get it with the second arm for a while, and that's just what happens, okay? So you might have it like where you're totally down with your left, has got it completely. So let me show you what this looks like. Right? I don't know 2 points, but this is that move we started with. This is that move we just got to. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. Actually, you know, this reminds me, however it is that you get into this move, if you want to keep it going, sometimes it does help to put a little bit more angle on it. Like, do you see how my hands are a little bit further from the body? This is just a learning rhythm. That kind of sometimes helps the hoop stay stuck to you, because you want it to feel it go around that smear point, like, you know, the third point of contact. Okay, so I definitely want to make sure that I give you guys a chance to ask questions, because we do have about I've timed it, it's about 10-second delay on us, so I'm going to make sure you get a chance to ask questions. I'll show you a couple of advanced things on these that you can, you know, decide to keep or not keep. If I'm here, right, and I'm going back and forth this way, I'm going back and forth, so this would be like doing a fit of breaks, as it were. But if I wanted to keep it going all the way around, I could bring it back and then drop it in, right? And then let my other hand come down here and go into that position, but just on this side. Yeah, just like, yeah, wow. Wow, Tara got it perfectly the first time. That's kind of ego busting, but this is how it looks. I'll show you. So, you know, you pick a hand, any hand, like, so it's going to come down around, right? There's the elbow thing, down around here. But then when it gets here, I'm going to push back with my elbow, and so I can use the other hand to help. I'm going to bring it up, dip that elbow, and there I go again, right? Boom. Boom. This is what it's like. You see that? So 2-point pushes, push folds, as I teach them usually, are 2-point technique mostly. There is some but anyway, let me just make sure I got you guys on that one. So wait, we were. Yeah. Okay. So we're here. Yeah, we're talking about coming all the way around here. Boom. I don't know if you can hear it on my mic, but you can get some really great sound effects from this. This is me going all the way around. You can kind of see it in the bird's eye down there in the bottom. And there's probably like a bunch of cool variations that you guys can do. And then this is me going into that hand walk we were doing before. Right? So see how all this... Okay, all right, let's play some songs. I found these songs. These are kind of cool, foldy songs to try to do some stuff with. It's not very long, and we're just going to play these and then call it a night. This will be our free hoop. Thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. I think we had a pretty technical issue-free class, so hopefully it came off that way. All right, so fire away any questions that you have. Again, I'll totally demo. We can come back to it. I know that these tech classes can be kind of brain killing. I get it, but without them, I just don't know how we'll really progress.
I know that you miss me, and that's okay. Sometimes I just don't know what to say. Oh,
You're welcome, Shaman. Thank you.
I may not be there, but all I have is love. But for now, I can't be your friend. It may not be the end, but push has come to shove. I'll be there, and when you need me, oh you need me, I'll be there. Da 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 da. I remember a time when I couldn't choose between what I wanted and what I knew. But now I know, and I don't hide. Wherever I go, I'm gonna be alright. Oh, I'm always gonna care. I may not be there, but all I have is love. But for now, I can't be your friend.
Sweet. Love this song, guys. Thank you so much.
But push has come to shove.
Sweet, Jennifer. Thank you for joining us. As always, thank you for joining us, Jennifer.
I'll be there. No. And when you
This would be the one-handed version, you know, like that sort of move where you just bring it across, but then bring it back, pinch it, keep it in there. Yeah. All right.
Don't be cautious, don't be kind. You committed, I'm your crime. Push my button anytime. You got your finger on the trigger, but your trigger finger's mine. Silver dollar, golden flame, dirty water, poison rain, perfect murder. Take your aim. I don't belong to anyone, but everybody knows my name. By the way, you've been uninvited, 'cause all you say are all the same things I did. Copycat trying to cut my manner. Watch your back when you can't watch mine. Copycat trying to cut my glamour. What's so sad when you can't have mine? Call me calloused, call me cold. You're italic, I'm in bold. Call me cocky, watch your tone. You better love me, 'cause you're just a clown. By the way, you've been uninvited, 'cause all you say are all the same things I did. Copycat trying to cut my manner. Watch your back when you can't watch mine. Copycat trying to cut my glamour. So sad, but you can't have mine. I would hate to see you go. Hate to be the one that told you so. You just crossed the line. You ran out of time. I'm so sorry, now you know. Sorry, I'm the one that told you so. Sorry, sorry, I'm sorry, sorry. Psych. By the way, you've been uninvited, 'cause all you all the same things I did. Copycat trying to cut my manner. Watch your back.
Guys, I'm sorry if that got really loud.
Copycat trying to cut my glamour.
Sweet, Lindsay. Nice. This makes me feel good. I'm glad you got it. Boom. Just for the replay, folks. So I will not have a HD version of this, guys. I'm sorry. We'll have to figure that little trick out later, but I'm hoping the quality is good enough. Okay, I think we'll do maybe one more song. I really like this next song. It's kind of upbeat, but we'll do one more song. It's a Suhan track, and then we'll call it a night.
Attention service desk 200.
Songs like these are the people that make up with it, and also come and flow them and grab it. Songs like these are the people it, and also come and flow them and flow. Songs like these are the people that make up with it, and also come and flow them and grab it. Songs like these are the people it, and also come and flow. Songs like these are the people that make up with it, and also come and flow them and grab it. Songs like these are the people it, and also come and flow. You want to? Come on in now. Come on in now. Come on in now. Songs like these are the people that make up captivate. And also to my flow, them a gravitate. Songs like these are the people fit. And also to my flow, songs like these are the people that me captivate. And also to my flow, them a gravitate. Songs like these are the people fit. And also to my flow, to my baby. These are the people that me captivate. And also to my flow, them a gravitate. Songs like these are the people fit. And also to my baby. You want to don't you know I wanna shoot, baby? You want to don't you know I wanna shoot, baby?
These are guys that are on SoundCloud. I hope you can see it, make it out in the graphics there.
Songs like these are the people that me captivate. And also to my flow, them a gravitate. Songs like these are the people fit. And also to my flow, to my you want to
Okay, guys, we're gonna call it a night here. Close out with one sort of slowish track song. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. It's nice to not have a class with a whole bunch of technical bugs. So thank you guys for bearing with me through that. Thank you, Tara, for jumping in. Thank you, Rex, for your cameos. This will be our last song. I'm gonna try to hand walk myself out of this. Thank you guys. Thank you, Mantra. Thank you, Jackie, Claire, Jennifer. Appreciate everybody so much.